All right.
Hello, everybody. This is Miss Love Me Some Sugar, and this is another deep dialogue with our guest today. Just to have a little conversation. David, would you like to say hello?
Hello. How you doing?
I am good. So, what we're going to talk about today is, do nice guys finish last? The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because a lot of times I'll be having a conversation with what is a quote unquote nice guy or whatever, and he'll say, I don't date certain types of women because they don't come for me and this, that, and the third. And the fact of the matter is nice guys generally won't, not be aggressive, but won't go to a woman and try to, get her number, or, won't be forward with that. And generally we as women, we want a man who's going to approach us. And if you're not approaching us, no matter what type of guy you are, a lot of times, I mean, a closed mouth won't get fed. But anyway, um, that's just my opinion, and that's just been my experience. But just to get started, David, do you think nice guys always finish last?
Always, I do not like to talk in absolutes, so I will never say always
Well, for
or
you,
never.
in the
Um,
years that you've had as this far, would you say you are a nice guy?
I've always thought I was a nice guy.
And have you, in your dating life, always got the woman that you wanted, or have you approached, or tried to go after that woman that you wanted, or did you sit back and wait for that woman to come to you?
So my experience, it's one, to answer the first question. No, I wouldn't say I've always gotten the woman that I wanted. Um, but I've gotten some that I wanted. Um, but to answer that question, like, no, I don't ever sit back and like think the woman should come to me. But like me personally, I'm a quiet person that watches and notices. So like if I'm sitting back watching guys over there shooting a shot and getting turned down, and then seeing the girl talking with her friend, like how talking that dude down, then why would I then go put myself in that same situation? So nice guys, we try to I try to go the nice guy route, be the friend, let you see what kind of guy I am, and then gauge your interests.
I mean, do you understand, once you're put in the friend zone, it's hard to get out? Because so it sounds like you're automatically, willingly putting yourself in the friend zone, not
I've never
understanding
find
that once you're in a friend zone, a lot of times it's hard to get out of the friend zone.
I've never found it difficult to get out of the friend zone.
So in your experience, you befriending someone first, it hasn't been hard to get out of the friend zone?
Nah.
Because to me, once I put someone in the friend zone, it's like, you in the friend zone now, so we friends. And I mean, you
All
may
right,
talk
so
salaciously to a friend or whatever, or sexually, or y'all might, do little flirtations or whatever. But a lot of times, once you're in the friend zone, you stay there.
again, that's not been my experience. Um,
I can respect that.
like just recently, I reached out to a girl that I thought had put me in the friend zone. Like she made it clear we was only gonna be friends. So I proceeded accordingly. Friendship level stuff. Like I saw openings, but she said friends, so I kept it friendly. She moved away. We drifted apart. we stopped talking. I reached out to her like in the last, I would say, since August. I reached out to her and like, hey, we was really good friends back in the day. I missed that friendship. Like, I think we should catch up. And her response was, why? Like, why would it benefit either of us to be friends now? Like, I was interested in you romantically back then, but now I don't see that happen.
So with that said, if she said you were interested in it back then and she not seen that happen, like it still seems like you're in the friend zone.
Okay. But like I said, I was in the friend zone, but she wanted more back then and didn't say nothing.
Oh.
Like I could have gotten out of the friend zone. I saw where I could have. I chose to remain in the friend zone.
So you chose to remain in the friend zone.
Yes.
Which so and that's funny when that happens too, because I talk to a lot of people and you know, back in the day, you know, a girl, she was hot to try, you know, back in the day, or she was real pretty back in the day, and she, you know, in her 30s, she fat now and ugly. She got 5 kids or 10 kids or however many kids or whatever. And then that same person who was or super attractive, even dudes who were attractive back in the day, and now they look old and a mess, or they didn't was on drugs and they got off drugs or whatever the reason. You know what I'm saying? They try to holler at you. You be like, is that you the same person? We've all
I'm
seen
aware.
it.
That's not what I'm talking about though. I know that. But like our friendship, like we started hanging out and we became friends. Like we was hanging out all the time, and this was just like over the course of a few months, like probably like January to like June. Like, so it wasn't like I was interested back in the day and now you're not looking as good anymore. It's just you said friends, so I'm only gonna treat you like a friend. Like I see,
So you being petty.
not it's not I didn't see that as being petty. Like you said you wanted, like I see women complain about guys acting like they want to be friends, but they really just trying to fuck. My bad. Smash. And I was trying to not be that. I'm trying to be a nice guy. You said friends, so I wanted to be friends. So I saw that you were interested, but I still don't want you to think I'm just here to try to smash. So I'm keeping it friendly.
So you keeping it friend. So what is your definition of a good man?
I think it's a good person. I mean, I feel like it boils down to treat others how you want to be treated. Um, like, do I think I'm a good person? I hope I'm a good person, but I don't know. People ask me for help, I try to be there. People want to listen in ear, I try to be there. Like beyond that, I don't really know what being a good person is.
Okay, so I guess in my definition of a good person, I feel like a good person is different from being a good man or a woman, because you individualize it. Because you know, you kind of put a blanket over a good person, a good man and woman, a child, a good person, all around person is a good person. Like you're saying, a person who will help people, a person who is there for their, you know, family and friends when you need it. When I say what is a good man, I actually mean what is a good man, meaning a good mate in
Yeah,
dating,
or
not necessarily a good person in everyday life. Because a lot of times you'll find that a good person will be a good person to everybody else, but at home he ain't shit, or she ain't shit, or you know what I'm saying? She'll be at church, or he'll be at church, or at work, or whatever, and you'll be a whole you put different hats on when you're different places. And a lot of times at home, people are different than they are when in dating. And it's weird but sometimes people treat people that they're dating worse than they do other people. So
That is very
when I
true.
say what a good person is, I can tell you what kind of man I would want, what I think is a good man, or me, or and you can tell me what you think a good woman is. But okay, so what do you think a good woman is? Not a good person, a good woman, meaning a woman that you want to date.
All right, so I understand the question. What makes a good partner? Um,
Well, I guess
I
if you date men and women, you can say good partner.
well, you're asking me what I think what would make me a good man, but what I consider me being good might not be good to someone else. Like there was somebody I was talking to that I really liked, and I was trying to figure out any way to show her that. Trying to be considerate. I know she'd be tired and moving all day. I would try to offer her massages. She did not like massages. You think females like flowers, you try to guess on the flowers. Oh, I hate it when people buy flowers. They don't last that long. Like they're just gonna die. Okay, so flowers is out. Try to buy candy. Oh, trying to get me fat now. Like you don't know. Like I don't know what would be good to someone. So that's
That sounds like
like
she
a
just didn't
blanket.
like you because all that shit I
I'm
like.
not.
I
Hold
mean,
on. I'm not talking like all of that. Her was just the massage. The rest of that is just like examples. Like you can't just say like I do this, so I'm good. Like you should let me. Like I don't know. Like that's why I said like I can't answer what a good man is. Like you know what you consider a good man. Like ask whatever questions you know would help to demonstrate that. Like would let you know how, like what kind of person I am, like how I think, instead of me just like giving you a like a blanket answer. Yeah.
so I mean, you're talking all. I feel like all that is superficial. Like when I say I okay, the man that I'm interested in, I'm asking for a good partner.
So that's what I'm saying. Like what?
Stable income, stability as far as communication. I guess I should stop saying but communication, a protector, a provider, a builder, someone who I can grow with. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying superficial stuff like someone who buys me flowers, which I love, someone who buys me candy or earrings or, what I'm saying, materialistic things. Like, because the thing about it is, I mean, some of that stuff is going to come into play once you're in a relationship, you know? So it's like, I guess
Yeah,
when you take the girl out to dinner, you can kind of see what her love language is. Okay, have you ever read that book, The Five Love Languages?
I have not. I've heard of it.
Okay,
Like I've had talks about it. I don't know what all the love languages, but I'm aware of the book.
okay. The five love languages is giving, receiving, touch. Man, let me look it up. But what would you say your love language is?
Um, I don't
Like
know.
what do
Presence.
you like?
One, someone that I can talk with, that we can communicate, like you said earlier, like communication. Like I've been seeing that communication isn't really the key. It's like understanding. Like you can tell your partner something all day, but if they don't understand what you're saying, then like how can they? If they can't understand it, they can't do it, or whatever the situation is. Um, so like that's what I'm saying. Like some people will say it, a good part. Well, like you said, a protector. I feel like in this day and age, women don't really feel like they need a protector. They have to, like, women have to do it on their own. That this world that we live in is trying, like, especially black people, but this world that we live in is trying to take the man away from the family. So they're giving
Do
like
you okay? We can go somewhere with that, but I'm not gonna get into that right now. But I feel like the man is taking himself from the family. But I'm gonna leave that alone. But anyway, far as the 5 love languages, the love languages are gifts or tokens of affection, quality, meaning time, giving you quality time,
that
physical
one is me.
touch, physical touch, words of affirmation, and acts of service.
For me, it's the quality time.
And I think um because maybe you've met a lot of women that gifts are tokens of affection, because in all the movies, Disney movies, all the Christmas movies, all the love movies, they kind of focus on that being a love language. You as a man wanting to give love to a woman, you probably thought to give them flowers or candies or whatever, um, for tokens of affection to show, your love or whatever. That's probably your first thing you thought to do instead of asking that person, like, I mean, it's hard because people think you corny when you ask, you know what I'm saying? What's your love language? Like, oh, who do you think you, Tyrese? Or what you trying to be? What you trying to be? No, it's not that. It's that it's like you have to, in a way, figure out how to say what's your love language without saying what's your love language. Like what do you like? Do you like massages? That's, physical touch or acts of service. You know what I'm saying? Do you like people to, take your car to get the oil change, or, whatever acts of service I can do for you? Do you like, me to, oh, you so pretty, you look so beautiful today? Like, is that something that, that you can show love with? Or, you can kind of, through conversation, gauge what somebody's love language is. You know what I
So
mean?
so I know mine is quality time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my default. Um, but I also know like I don't need to go, like I don't care about going out and partying and dancing and clubbing and stuff. Like I like to go to comedy shows. I like to go to shows. Um, but as for parties and stuff, I can take it or leave it. Um, but I know females like to do that, so I'm open to doing that.
Some females like to do that.
I'm not talking about every. When I talk, I'm not talking about all. I'm when I say it, I'm talking about in general. Like a lot like to, not all, but some females like to go out and dance and party and drink and have a good time. And I don't have anything against it. It's just not how I have fun. So it's not my choice. Um, and I'm not trying to say they do it extremely either, but some people enjoy that. Some people like to travel. I can travel, but when I think about traveling, I'm thinking about the part about going to the trip. Like I'm thinking about packing and getting ready and getting to the airport and all that stuff included with the trip. So I'm willing to do it, but it's not my idea of fun either. Um, Gifts like for me, it's not about flowers and candy and stuff. It's stuff to let them know I've been paying attention, that I'm listening to you talking, and I'm not just trying to smash. Like that's why I'm saying I don't know what a good. It's not what I think a good man is. It's what you consider a good man. That's why I'm saying like you can ask me about what you think is a good man. Like if I agree, but being good is just so broad to me.
I agree. I mean, it is broad, but it's only broad. I don't know. I feel like all this stuff is found out in communication. If you communicate with somebody, you can see exactly what they want. And the problem is people tell people exactly who they are and what they want. Is if you choose to believe them and hear them out for who they are. Because a lot of times, like that song, by Eve, Love is Blind. People put their blinders on and their rose colored glasses when they're in the beginning parts of a relationship. And of course, it's the honeymoon period of anything, whether it's you know, getting married or a new relationship or anything. All we want is, you know, to see them in a great light. And so when you see these what they call the red flags coming up, y'all riding together, and then all of a sudden she cuss somebody, ain't that a bitch, you mother, you know, like, God dang, she crazy. I didn't even see that coming. Or, you know what I'm saying? If you a dude that's sensitive to kids and you hear her hollering at her kids like she crazy, and she thought she pressed mute and she didn't, or because some men, they like, if you talking crazy like that to your kids, like they don't like that, so they'll be like, that's a red flag to me. You know, depending on what you feel like a red flag is, people see things that they don't like in people, and then that flag gets bigger over time. You know what I'm saying? But they choose not to. Oh, it's okay. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? They make excuses for what the red flags are. You know what I mean?
That's true. But also, people don't like to believe what people say anymore.
Why do you say that?
Everybody assumes everybody's lying. So sometimes you do come right out and tell people from the beginning, but they don't believe you because they think you lying. They think like, you know, the times that we hear about it, it's with nice guys and they trying to show you that they're a good guy, and females be like, something's wrong here. Like, why are you being so nice to me? Like when are you gonna go crazy, or when are you gonna snap? Like
But
people
that's their
already.
baggage though, and their past that they're bringing up. Like, and that, I think that's a problem too, because they're because of their past that they may or may not have dealt with. They're putting that on you. You're a whole new man. Like, you can't compare me to your last boyfriend who must have busted you upside your head, or you know what I'm saying? Because you may be actually a nice dude or whatever. You can't compare that to your past relationships, because everybody is new and you have to have a clean slate. And if you haven't got over that, and I've literally stopped talking to people if I feel like they have some shit going on from their past relationships and stuff like that. I've literally been like, you know what, you're not done with that, so I'm good.
Yeah, like, and I'm tired of all the fakeness. Like people like I'm tired of the fakeness, the fake conversations, the surface level conversations. I hate all that. If you want to talk to me, if you want me to take time out of my day to do from doing something that I wanted to do, let's talk about something. Like, I don't want to keep talking about Travis Scott and Astroworld or whoever that was.
That's exactly who that was.
I thought I had it right. I pay attention. I thought I had it right, but
You
I could
did.
be wrong.
You was right. So do
Appreciate
you feel
that.
like I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying I appreciate that.
So it sounds like you I'm not sure what's your longest relationship?
Not very long. Like, I have been off and on with the same girl for since I was 21 up until the latest off of June. But the longest we've been together solid was like a year.
And that's with a committed relationship with both of you guys, right?
Yeah.
Do you think holding on to her could have hindered you in relationships with other people? Like, in you not being married, because you don't have any kids, right? Or do you have
I
kids?
do not. I do not.
Do you think holding on to
And
that
people find
relationship being off and on?
I don't think holding on to that relationship has, because I don't think I've been holding on to that relationship. Like if we're talking, then I'm here, I'm in it. But if you told me it wasn't gonna work, then I believe you. So I'm moving on with my life. And then if we reconnect later and I guess try to give it another shot, like I feel like like actually no. I feel like before I wasn't holding on to it. But now the last 6 or so years, I feel like I have been holding on to it because like I feel like she went crazy on me, and I felt like if we did try it again, I would have no reasonable expectation of peace.
For 6 years? That's a
Yes.
long time. Cause I mean, the thing about it is you still younger. So it's like this is the prime of your life where people generally are getting into a solid career, you know what I'm saying? Getting into a relationship, having kids, building. These are a lot of times the start when you start building your foundation of who you will be or whatever. And I feel like I mean there can be hindrance there then, like hindering you
I may
from proceeding with life.
I may have meant that in a different way. Like I don't feel like I'm holding on to her like trying to like I'm still hoping to be with her. Like I'm holding on to that as a reason to not be with her, like to not deal with her as deep as I did before. Like I don't feel like I'm like that's holding me back from anyone else. I just feel like a lot of people don't have don't have cohesive thoughts in their heads, and I don't like to give them my time and energy.
If you look at yourself when that relationship started at 20, 21 years old, and then you look at yourself now, what would you tell yourself back then? Not even regarding the relationship. Like if you were to look at your younger self, freshly, you know what I'm saying, 21 years old, barely can drink, you know what I'm saying? What would you tell your 21-year-old self right now?
Something you said earlier, closed mouths don't get fed. I that's why I was saying like this is a good topic for me. I spent my life trying to be the good guy, trying to wait for my turn. Now it's my turn.
Okay. Would you do anything different?
I would do a lot different. Um, especially at that age, I would have definitely stayed in school. Um, School is definitely a down the like eyes down the road thing, and I was trying to
Live for now?
not live for now, trying to set myself up to not struggle to go to school. Um, and also be in a place where I'm ready to be in school. Because the reason why I stopped is because like I felt like I was wasting my time. I'm going sitting there for people to talk at me when that's not even really how I learned. Like I was doing it because everybody says it. And that old way of thinking was broken. Like
Mhm.
even back then.
So I was talking to someone, I was going to interview him, but I forgot what happened. But before he said that, and he said a blanket answer. He said that Black men don't want to sit there and go to school. We just want to do or whatever. We looking for quick money. Of course, he was a hood guy, and so he was like, we looking for quick money. We ain't trying to just sit in school. We ain't finna do what women do. Like women are the only ones that go to school. Like women are the only ones that will sit and learn a craft and actually do it. I said, what about trade schools? Because trade schools, generally you're there for less than a year, 9 months, a year, 6 months, depending on what your trade is. And then you go to school more and more to increase your trade, right?
So
So heating
I
and
agree.
cooling.
So
and
I
things
agree
like
with
that.
what he's saying.
Just to finish my point really quick. I say that to say, do you feel like, and I don't want to make it a black and white thing, but I'm black and we're both indigenous
You
black
black?
people. Of course, stop playing. But you know the melanin. But
It be popping.
anyhow, like, do you see? You made me forget my question. Anyhow, go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
I agree with what he said. We not trying to sit in school. We trying to get money now, but I don't know if he said it with that same tone that you said it with, but that
He
like the
did.
way like that sounds like a childish way of looking at it. Like I need money
I
now.
agree.
Like I agree with that, but it's not because I'm impatient. It's like I have stuff that needs to be paid for now. Like I can't be without an income for the time it takes me to learn how to do something when you can teach me how to do it there the way you like it done, and
Hmm.
like I wouldn't have anything to argue with. The way you teach me is going to be the best way to do it. Like how, like why you want me to go learn over there for me to come here for you to spend the next 6 weeks training me on how you like it done.
But you do understand with education comes more money, right? So what would you say? What do you think would have set you up at 21 or even 18 when you graduated high school? What do you think in your life would have set you up differently, where you would have had a different mindset? Because in my opinion, I feel like if my parents would have been like, you know what I'm saying, if they would have had my school paid for and I would have had some pocket money, that would have kind of set me up so I wouldn't feel like I'm struggling and I'm going to school. Do you feel like,
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying.
so do you feel like if you had school paid, if you know had a scholarship or school paid for, you would have benefited more to going to school and sitting there and, you know what I'm saying, getting that type of knowledge? Or like, what did you ultimately want to become, like when you were a kid? Like, what did you want to be, like what did you want to do?
I figured out what I wanted to do in high school. You may remember when they did the video announcements.
Hmm.
Do you remember when they first started doing it, how it was a distinct lack of black people on it?
Yes, it was.
So did you notice the next year when me and Trevin started doing it and our videos consisted of nothing but black people?
No.
They complained about our videos very quickly. So we had to start getting our video, like these were the intro videos for the announcements. So we had to start getting ours approved. But that's video editing is what I would have liked to go to school for. But then like that wasn't big in normal schools. Like it was very hard to find that in a normal school. So you would have had to go to one of those
Like Metro
trade
Tech?
schools. No, I'm not talking about high school. I'm talking about in college. Like that wasn't a big thing in college. You would have had to go to like, the
ITT Tech or something?
yeah, something like that. And those schools cost a lot more money. And the way
Hmm.
I was looking at it, like that would like I would have been putting myself in a hole to dig myself out of for the rest of my life, and I didn't want to put that burden on myself. That's uh that's why I didn't go to school. That's why I stopped going to school.
But do you feel like you had enough financial literacy where you even knew how to pay back that money or anything like that to even say that? Because right now, a video editor makes bank. Because I feel like with
Uh,
like in high school, I literally had one semester of economics, and I was so enthralled in learning about more economics when I got out of school. I was like, wow, how can I even took it in college because I was like, man, I gotta know more about this because I love stocks. Like just that little couple of months that I had with economics, like kind of led me into learning more about it? Like, do you feel like we don't know enough, we don't have enough financial literacy when it comes to school and everything else? Because I mean, you could have paid that back no problem.
Yeah, but my like I don't know, it's my mindset. Like I do my best to live without debt. Like, everybody has monthly bills,
Hmm.
but that's service and stuff that I choose to pay for to continue to use. Like I could choose not to have cars and get rid of my car payment and insurance. I could choose not to have a cell phone and get rid of that bill. Um, but like the only debt I have is this card for real, a couple $100 on the credit card. So like the thought of going to school and starting out $80,000 in debt, I could not bear it. I could not do it.
And that was the cheapest school you were able to find?
It's that 80,000 was just a general number to throw out there. I have no idea how much it would have cost. I know it was more than it would have cost to go to a traditional school, like a university, in which I would have been able, like, if I would have been on my shit, I would have been able to get that paid for. So, like, so that's what it was like. Going to school, I wasn't interested in going to school if I had to pay for it. Like, if I have to pay to go there and I'm not getting paid, like, this is a waste of time. Like, I was going while I was playing football and they was paying for me to be there.
Hmm. So do you think going like, if and when you do have kids, do you feel like you'll have to you'll be aware that you're gonna figure out a way so you can have your kids' school paid for and they won't have to have that same experience that you had?
Well, I personally don't feel like a college degree is all that necessary. Like we know for a fact, like we know why school was started. We know why they want us to be in school, why they want us to continue to be in school. So I would want my kids to go to school to get an education because you can't be out here stupid. But as far
It
as
depends on what
them
they
going
want
to
to do in
college,
life though, right?
it does depend. So like I'm not saying don't go to school, but I'm saying not to go to school to figure out what you want to do.
Do you feel like in your life you're at where you want to be at?
I definitely am not.
And
Like
are
I
you
said,
working towards doing that?
yes, that's what I said. I've spent my whole life waiting for my turn. These last few months, I've been opening my mouth and taking my turn.
How do you feel like that's going so far?
I've made positive steps.
I have a quick question. So a lot of dudes feel like and this just to get back on topic, a lot of like I've because I started this all because I was on a lot of the online dating sites and stuff like that, and then I would go live, and when I would go live I would ask a lot of questions, and they were like, do you have a YouTube, I'm like, no, I just like asking questions. But anyhow, um I feel like a lot of men, they have this I'm a good guy cape on, but then they're not even ready for a relationship. And it's tough for me as a woman who I feel like I'm somewhat in a good place in my life or whatever. And a lot of men want a woman to mother them. And when I say mother them, that means cook, clean, wash, submit, and all this other stuff. They want all this submission, and they want a mother role, it seems like, and they haven't built a foundation to have that done for them. So they have like I have this good guy cape on. I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. And then you're not presented with anything good. Okay, you're a good person, but besides being a good person, what else comes with that? And then, I mean, he can also say, what are you bringing to the table? And then I'll have all this stuff I'm bringing to the table, but you're not even prepared for a woman. You're not prepared for a woman. You're not prepared for a child. You're not prepared for anything, but you're a good guy. I don't know why these women do me like this. I'm such a good guy, but you haven't set up a clear foundation for a family or for a woman to even step in. And you ain't got a pot to piss in. Like, you ain't got, like, why are you trying to get a woman, and not you, but I be thinking sometimes, like, why are you trying to get a woman when you're not even prepared to have a woman? Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Have you met men like that who, friends or whatever, family members or whatever, who say they're a good guy, a good person, but then don't have anything to bring to the table, or they're not even ready for a relationship, a real woman?
Honestly, I think that about myself all the time.
You think that about yourself?
Yeah,
Why do you say that?
like I live in an apartment. I live in an apartment. Basically, I have no money saved. Like I don't have any debt, but I don't have nothing. So I got I got a job. It's basically to pay bills. Like I said earlier, females like to travel. I can't afford to travel. Well, I could save money to travel, but I don't got money to just get up and go. Like, okay, I want to go to Jamaica, so let's go. Like, no, give me a few months and then we can go.
So what do you feel like you need to change in your life to have more of a financial standing?
Um, like I always believed if I go to work, I show that I'm good at my job, even show that I can do the next job. So, promote me. But that's not I felt like if I did that, I could work my way up and I would eventually get to that point. But that's not how it's been working. Like so now and like you apply for jobs, like you hear it all the time. Like you apply for jobs, like they offer you a salary. Like you can always negotiate that. Me, I generally took what I was offered, thinking, all right, but when they see how good I am at this, they'll eventually pay. They'll recognize what I'm doing and pay. But that's not how it works. Like
Mm-hmm.
people, they see it and recognize it, but they don't want to pay for it. So now, I need this. Thanks for your time.
So
So that's where I'm at now. So that's what I'm saying. I'm making positive steps. Am I where I want to be? No, but I'm moving in the right direction now.
so with all that said, would you say that, okay, with this conversation, when you say so I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of the question that I'm trying to ask. Um,
Well, while
when
you're
you
thinking of that, let me say this. You also asked. You said you see these guys who don't got a pot to piss in.
mm-hmm.
Who like what makes you think you're ready for a woman or like whatever that like because we like me personally, I feel that same way. Like what do I look like trying to pursue a relationship when I'm barely supporting myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then you hear about these females uh letting these guys move in with them after meeting them at the club. Like do these females even have standards? Like why do I need to
I
get
don't think
my
they
stuff
do
together?
anymore.
Why do I need to get my stuff together when they taking that? Like so that like
But
that's
why would you even let that be your threshold? Like, why would you even worry about what another man is doing and how ignorant another woman? Would you want a woman like that with no backbone? I mean, depends on your standard of what kind of woman you want, really. Because I know a woman that she literally like we had this conversation. She has no self esteem. I won't even call her low self esteem. She has no self esteem, and she's a pretty girl. And that's the weird thing about it. I'm like, you really think like, and I just like I kept on looking at her as she was telling me all this. First of all, I'm like, why are you telling me all this? But people tend to tell me things that they generally don't tell nobody else, but it's fine, whatever. So I just listened, and she proceeded to say, she
Hey,
said that
real quick,
she'd rather have a guy with no car that she would have to take around and that lives with her because she's able to keep tabs on him more. I said that's just
um,
screaming insecurity.
I agree with that. So no, I don't be looking for females that want me to move in with them or that is trying to like take me everywhere. Like I feel uncomfortable when people be trying to do stuff on me. But but what I'm saying, like okay, I don't have a house, so like I'm not necessarily looking to start a relationship. Like if one comes, then I'm not trying to avoid it, but I'm not trying to pursue something that I don't feel like I'm ready for.
Ready for. Mm-hmm.
But then like you always see the stories like when we started, we had nothing and we supported each other and got each other to where we needed to be to where we are now. Like that's a beautiful thing. So niggas start saying okay, or guys start saying okay, well I don't have to have it all. Like if if I'm looking like well I don't want somebody. I'm not pursuing someone that wants me to move in with them. But you're looking at like you said that girl was pretty but has no self-esteem. Like how do we know what your self-esteem is like? I'm looking at you thinking like, well, she's not gonna give me the time of day because I don't have at least what she got. So, but then you see her with that nigga that you just saw on the corner panhandle. Like, what's going on here?
Sheesh, that's extremely low. I don't
I
know.
mean,
I
yeah,
just that's like that's
that
another
was for
level of lowness.
that was for dramatic effect.
I no, I understand.
But
Not I'm
yeah,
not being literal. Come on, but
but yeah,
I a lot of times I just don't understand. Like I don't know. I feel like women have lowered their standards so much that women like me have it harder. And I'm not saying I'm like the cream of the crop, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not a bad looking woman, and you know, I have my chosen few or whatever. But I feel like certain men, women like her have lowered the standard to a point where, um, because she's accepting of it, men think that all women are accepting of nonsense, and it's just not the fact. And the simple
I
fact
agree.
that they are accepting of men who really aren't doing much makes it hard because I don't want to raise you, and I don't want to do nothing your mama should have did. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't trying to. I don't want to be nobody's ride or die. Nothing. That's just not my ministry. Like I just don't want to do it. I just can't. Like I just don't want to do it. Like I just can't do that. And it's funny because more times than not, you kind of, men kind of look at you like, because if you're, everybody had, okay, what they say is truth in every stereotype. And she, like, if you're a big girl, you automatically have low self-esteem, or they have a stereotype if you're black, a black man, you have a big dangle, or if you're, everybody has a stereotype or whatever. Every if you're Chinese, or if you're probably smart or whatever. That's a good stereotype, I guess they have, but they have bad ones as
I mean,
well.
yeah, they have bad ones. Everybody has good ones and bad ones.
But I'm saying, like, people put stereotypes on people that aren't necessarily true for them. And I guess I'm saying a lot without saying nothing. Basically, fat girls are all low self-esteem and they'll accept anything. And I'm just not that. So it is what it is, I guess. But
Hey, it's stereotypes for the for guys too. For us big guys that's had this dad bod my whole life. So now we in the mid-30s. Not like you was saying earlier. Now you looking a little worse for wear. Now you ready to give me a shot? Pass.
A hard pass. But just kind of ending this. What would you say about, like, what are your ending words regarding good guys?
Um, like I said, I don't want a blanket statement, good guys. What I will say is what we really need to do is really focus on communicating now. People be trying to tell us stuff, or we be trying to tell people stuff, and nobody's listening. So that's all I can say now. Just talk, listen, be willing to listen. You're not always right.
Okay. Well, this has been another deep dialogue with Miss Sugar. Love me some sugar. And y'all have a good rest of your day.